Hollywood. Welcome to Hollywood. Welcome to Hollywood.
Yeah, how do you guard against your team being too eager offensively to come in? Because West Virginia's had such good numbers offensively, have that attitude of we're going to show them what they can do and like overdo it.
I don't think they're worried about that at all. I just think that you just got to stay focused on what we do and just trying to execute the play that's called. That's really all we need to be focusing on. You start thinking outside of that, and you're worried about things you shouldn't worry about. But, we've had a couple good days and 3 good practices and a couple walkthroughs and some good meetings. And, we I think have had a good plan. We'll start paring down a little bit, really tightening the game plan, and just really focus in on what we're going to do in the game. We've looked at a lot of things over the last couple of weeks, but I don't, I don't see that as a concern. All we got to focus on is just, trying to take care of the football and just, again, executing the play call. We're not in some type of contest or anything like that. I mean, it might be a 6-3 game. I doubt it, but it might be. I mean, you just never know when you have this amount of time, as far as going between games.
What's the official word on Nate Hopkins?
I think he's going to be fine. He just had a slight concussion. Very, very lucky that he was not seriously injured, and just scared him really. I think he's really thankful that he's okay. Not many people would walk away from that wreck, he's ran today and moved around a little bit, and I think he'll be back practicing by the weekend.
So you're expecting to play then?
Yeah, I expect him to play.
You do.
You feel it might take a few possessions to get the rhythm going again? That's what
Yeah, well, I mean, again, you never know. There's a lot of things that affect that, but we'll try to, be smart with what we ask the guys to do. I'm sure they'll be excited to play. I know West Virginia will be excited to play. Obviously, you want to try to get in a rhythm early. I think that just like in our championship game, early momentum in a game like this is critical. And so, we got to try to do some things early to try to create some momentum for ourselves. But just try not to do too much. Just focus on that 4 seconds that you're getting ready to perform in, and just make that the best 4 seconds you can, and then go to the next one. Don't get caught up in all the other things that come with the game. Another part of this game that's a little bit different is I think we have to leave the field with a 41-minute mark. That's a long time. That's a whole different deal for us from a pregame preparation standpoint. That's a long time to go back in the locker room before you play. So, I think it's a 41-minute mark. We have to come off the field. I think they have an hour countdown or whatever. Yeah, normally we come off the field.
So 19 minutes.
That's a lot more time for us to sit in the locker room before we go back out to kick it off. So we'll have to, change our routine up a little bit in there as far as just keeping them stretched and not letting them get tight again. I would think so. We've had longer half times, but the pregame is a little bit different. That's all part of it. We're here now, and we'll get everybody settled in and get the festivities kicked off tonight from a bowl standpoint. And really excited about being a part of the Orange Bowl. And these folks, they do a tremendous job. I mean, I'm talking about every little detail is incredible. The way we travel, the motorcade that they have for us, it is just, it's something to see. And how they move us around this city. No delays or anything like that. And the practice facilities are great. Just couldn't have a better hospitality than what we've had to this point. Again, looking forward to really kind of getting engaged with it. We've kind of been off to ourselves for the last 2 nights, really just doing our own thing. But look forward to being a part of it with everybody now.
Coach, I have to do something I don't cover the team obviously every day. I'm a quarterback eventually. I know he struggled a little, I guess, at the end of the season before the bowl game.
Yeah.
There were some picks thrown and stuff. What was the difference there? They were saying something about complacency.
Taj, what's wrong with you, man? You throwing them interceptions there. A little stretch there.
What was wrong with him? And what's right with him also?
Well, he just, you know, he's a young player. He's a first-year starter, and just, I think, trying to do too much, playing outside the system, getting a little frustrated because all of a sudden, you know, guys, you know, we had some turnovers that weren't just interceptions, but we'd have some fumbles, and next thing you know, you're trying to do things that you shouldn't do and not take the things that are there, and just playing outside the system a little bit. That's just pressing, and then all of a sudden you lose a little bit of confidence and get sacked a little bit, and you know, you just kind of start making some mistakes. But that's just the nature of the game. But you know, there's nobody out there that hadn't had a few bad ball games. But the great ones play through that, and that's what our quarterback's done. And was at his best on the biggest stage in the championship game. So, you know, that's really all that matters. You know, he's you know, going to have some more mistakes along the way, but I think he's toughened up, and I think he's grown up, and he understands that it's a process and what he's got to do to prepare every single week to execute the game plan. But, you know, I expect him to play well.
How good is it when you get a big-time recruit like Sammy, you get to bring him home the first year, you take him away from home?
Well, it's pretty neat, you know, this freshman group. That's what I told them. I've been messing with them all week, you know, first year, Orange Bowl, ACC champs. That's a pretty good start for those guys. And, you know, first year starting quarterback in Taj. I told Taj that, you know, he almost was going to West Virginia. I told him he'd have been a good backup to Geno had he been a Mountaineer. He didn't like that, though. But no, we're glad that Taj is here, and that's kind of unusual that you know, he's getting to go against West Virginia. But it's good to have all these Florida boys, you know, back in this state. We got a bunch of them on this roster, and there'll be a bunch more to come. This has been a great state for us to recruit, and it's good to have all those guys back home, close to their families, and certainly been good for Sammy. Just a short ride over here from his home.
Can you talk? I was going to ask you also about Landon, his leadership, and not only just, you know, during the season, but since you guys have known you're going to play in this game. Yeah,
Landon's been a great leader all year, and he was a good leader, of course, last year. But you know, really this year, he was one of those guys that you know, has been through a lot, and you know, really set the tempo back in the off season, spring practice, in the summer. That, hey, listen, you know, we're gonna commit to a standard. And he's been one of those guys that stayed committed all the way, and he's led by example. Really happy for him, and he's a heck of a player for us. He doesn't get the recognition that he deserves. You very rarely, you know, have anything bad to say about Landon. He just does his job. Has really become a smart, high IQ football player, and has improved every year. He wasn't a very good player as a freshman, but not many of them are. But he's just gotten better and better and better. And, you know, I'm proud of him. He's graduated, and I think he's going to have an opportunity to play after Clemson.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
That's good.